the magnificent 5-mile Interlagos circuit, and on the front row of the grid, fastest of all, number 26, Jacques Lafitte in the magnificent Ligier. Alongside him, his teammate, Patrick Depailler. Then in the second row, on the left, Mario Andretti, the world champion in the Lotus 79. His teammate alongside him, number 2, Carlos Reutemann. Then the 2 Ferraris, Jody Scheckter in his first year in the Ferrari team, and number 12, Gilles Villeneuve. Then Pironi in the Tyrrell, Jabouille in the Renault, James Hunt and Fittipaldi. And now, 40 laps, away they go, 200 miles, straight into the lead. Jacques Lafitte, followed by Reutemann and Patrick Depailler. Into Curva 1, the left-hander. And Jabouille is left at the start in the turbocharged Renault and gets away cleanly, but last of all. Now, round Curva 2 and into the long straight, and it's Jacques Lafitte leading Patrick Depailler with Reutemann alongside him, Andretti in the middle. On the right is Jody Scheckter, and Andretti cuts through on the inside to take third position. Niki Lauda in midfield in the Brabham Alfa Romeo, and Jacques Lafitte already on the first lap out of this 40-lap race is pulling away from his teammate Patrick Depailler in second place. It looks as though the Ligiers are doing it again. The Lotuses are third and fourth, Andretti and Reutemann. And it is quite incredible the way the Ligier, and this is the first season that this new car, which has dropped the V12 Matra engine and replaced it with a Ford Cosworth V8 engine, is set up absolutely superbly. Everything is right, and Jacques Lafitte is making the most of its incredible performance. He's streaking away from Patrick Depailler, which is exactly what he did in the Argentine Grand Prix, the first of the 1979 Grand Prix. Lafitte then. Patrick Depailler behind him in second place, and it looks as though, again, notwithstanding the fact that the Lotuses have had their rear suspensions changed, the Ligiers are going to pull away from the car which dominated the 1978 season, the Lotus 79. It's a long lap, the longest of all in Grand Prix racing, and it's a magnificent lap at Interlagos. 5 miles, it twists and it turns. Speeds of up to 180 miles an hour. It's very demanding. And there is Niki Lauda in midfield in the new Brabham. But still, Jacques Lafitte is on his way and coming down towards the end of the first lap. 1 lap completed then. Jacques Lafitte in the Ligier across the line, and already he's setting the pace of the race from the very front. Behind him, keeping a watching position, is Patrick Depailler. There is the blue and white second Ligier, and behind him the 2 Lotuses. It's Mario Andretti in third position, Carlos Reutemann in fourth place. Jody Scheckter in the red and white Ferrari is fifth and pulling out of his slipstream, and coming up alongside him, Emerson Fittipaldi gets through and takes fifth position. Didier Pironi, 7th, Gilles Villeneuve in 8th position. In the white Williams, Alan Jones is in 9th place. And there's still a long way to go, and it's very hot at Interlagos. Lap 3, Lafitte and Depailler. There's only one of the Lotuses. That was Carlos Reutemann, has gone through in the Lotus with Emerson Fittipaldi behind him in 4th position. So it looks as though world champion Mario Andretti, who had a bad race in the Argentine, is going to have another bad one here at Brazil. Over the line, and there's Andretti. Andretti is in the pits, stationary, obviously in trouble. Mechanics craning over the back of the engine, trying to start it, and a puff of flame as he had before the race started. When the fire extinguishers were used, they're used again, and Mario Andretti is out of the race effectively. And still it is the 2 Ligiers in front, and look at the gap that they're pulling out. Lafitte and Depailler over Carlos Reutemann in the Lotus in third position. Right behind him, Emerson Fittipaldi. Then it's Scheckter and Didier Pironi, followed by Gilles Villeneuve in the Ferrari, and the white Williams of And there is Nelson Piquet in the Brabham Alfa Romeo into the pits and out of the race, and he's hit Clay Regazzoni's car. Now a scrap for 5th position between Jody Scheckter in the Ferrari and behind him in the blue Tyrrell number 3, Didier Pironi. At the moment it's Jody Scheckter in 5th place, but Didier Pironi is giving him a hard time, and it's only the 2nd season of Formula One racing as James Hunt comes into the pits in the Wolf. Lafitte leads. Depailler 2nd. No change at the front, and it doesn't look as though there's going to be one because the Ligiers are very reliable. Over the water, and there's a gigantic crowd watching at Interlagos, seeing Jacques Lafitte as Patrick Tambay in the M26 McLaren in the background, and Clay Regazzoni in the white Williams in the foreground. Touch. Tambay goes off. It's a terrible meeting for him. He's crashed twice already in practice. Clay Regazzoni back into the race as Jabouille goes past in the Renault. And Clay Regazzoni rejoins the circuit. Right down at the tail end of the field now, of course, with a lot of time and distance to make up if he's to get anywhere. But now Jody Scheckter in the 5th place is challenged by Didier Pironi, who surges past him. Pironi in the very fast new 1979 Tyrrell 009 up into 5th position. 2 Ligiers lead. And there is Lafitte on lap 16, coming up to take and lap Clay Regazzoni after the Swiss driver has spun and regained the circuit. Patrick Depailler tucks in behind the white Williams, and Lafitte has put in a record lap at 2 minutes 28.7 seconds, 6 seconds faster than the lap record. Fittipaldi in 4th position, Pironi 5th and Scheckter 6th. And there is Fittipaldi, who won't be holding that 4th position much longer because he is obviously in trouble. Lap 22, out goes his hand, and he's touring in, the hero of Brazil. And there into the pits goes Gilles Villeneuve in the Ferrari. All 4 tyres are being changed. They've obviously picked up circuit dirt and are slowing him up all the way round, and Gilles Villeneuve has lost his 8th position. Jacques Lafitte still leading Patrick Depailler. Depailler in 2nd position, 20 seconds ahead of Carlos Reutemann. Fittipaldi into the pit, was in 4th position. And there is Carlos Reutemann, 2nd in the Argentine, his 1st season driving for Lotus in the Lotus 79, in 3rd position, closing up on and soon to lap René Arnoux in the 1.5 litre turbocharged Renault. And now up into 4th place, Didier Pironi, number 3 in the 009 1979 Tyrrell, and it's his highest ever Grand Prix place. The man who won at Le Mans in 1978, a fine drive here at Brazil. Fifth, Jody Scheckter in the Ferrari, and it's his first real Grand Prix in the Ferrari, because in the Argentine he was out in the crash at the first corner. But it's still Jacques Lafitte's race all the way, looking very cool and totally effortless, and totally too dominating the race from the front. Jody Scheckter in the Ferrari, like his teammate Gilles Villeneuve, into the pits for new tyres. It's the same problem as Villeneuve had, and it's bringing Jody Scheckter down from 5th place and out of World Championship points. Up into a new 5th place, Alan Jones in the white Williams. And that's a wonderful drive because it's a 1978 non-ground effects car, much slower than the others. Lap 30 out of 40, and Jacques Lafitte, the leader, is closing up on and seemingly about to lap John Watson in the new McLaren M28, the man who was third in the Argentine. He's had all sorts of problems handling in practice, and Jacques Lafitte underlines it by driving through Watson on the inside and is now pulling away from the man he has lapped, John Watson in the McLaren. And René Arnoux, that is, into the fence, a gigantic spin at 125 miles an hour, and he's all right, and Alan Jones is into the pit now, and from the way they're looking at his car, it seems to be engine or maybe fuel system trouble, but he's out of 5th place. And Jacques Lafitte in the closing stages, lap 37 out of 40, has lapped Gilles Villeneuve, who is up into 5th position, so Lafitte has lapped everyone up to 4th place, an incredible drive. Fittipaldi goes on, but now down in 11th place as Depailler, number 25, second, 5 seconds behind Lafitte, who comes home at the end of the 40th lap to take the checkered flag and win the Brazilian Grand Prix. His second Grand Prix victory in succession. Jacques Lafitte wins from his teammate Depailler, Carlos Reutemann in the Lotus 3rd, Didier Pironi in the Tyrrell in 4th position, Gilles Villeneuve Ferrari in 5th place, and the last World Championship point scorer Jody Scheckter in the Ferrari. But the worry for the whole Formula One circus from now on is Jacques Lafitte and the wonderful Ligiers. Jacques Lafitte leads the World Championship, 18 points. Then Reutemann and Depailler, 2nd and 3rd. John Watson, the top British driver, Didier Pironi in 5th position, and tying for 6th, Gilles Villeneuve and Mario Andretti with a mere 2 points.